Hello everybody, this is part 3 of how to install a flat slide FCR carb onto your DRZ 400. I'm assuming you saw parts 1 and 2. This is basically the tuning and just notes on what you do need to do. One thing I would recommend, which I didn't say in the videos, is make sure you put a zip tie on the vacuum nipple where it goes into the carb, because you do not want an air leak there. Now the jetting that I'm running, I am at sea level, is a 200 main air jet, a 160 main jet, a 45 pilot, a 100 pilot air jet, and an EMR needle. I do have the K&N air filter in the air box. Now I do have, of course, the 3x3 hole cut in the top, but something else that's done on this, and I'll give you a little tip what I did. I cut two more holes in the side of the air box, the throttle side, because I noticed the bike needed more air. How I would recommend before you do this, instead of just start drilling 2 large holes. Now these are like 2 3/8. These are actually like a hole saw for when you drill a doorknob hole in your house. So that's what I had. What I would recommend doing is, because you have your Zeus fittings, you can see the K&N in there, is when the bike's running, just running down the road, as all of you know, if you take off the side panel, it just exposes a huge hole. What I would recommend is drive it, see how it runs with this cover off, with this cover on. Then simply take this cover off, because there's an air filter, and drive it down the street and see if it runs better. If it actually runs better, which mine did, then go ahead and cut your 2 large holes on this side, and then your problem solved. So basically, it's kind of like a 30-second way to, tell and see if you need a little bit more air without doing anything or cutting holes and then having it not in there. On that gearing, believe it or not, I went back to the stock gearing on this bike. I think it actually pulls better. It actually pulls better wheelies, because I think the power band of where the motor develops power is actually better. I am running the R&D air fuel screw, and it seems like 2 turns out is right where you want to be on this. Alright, as you can see in there, the accelerator pump mod is done. I should have took this out, or did a little bit better for you guys when I had it apart. Most people know what that means, is that the arm is safety wired on that, so that when you twist it, there's no play. Another thing we kind of talked about in number 2 was the throttle on this. You do have to play with these to get it so it snaps back nice. Just take your time. Sometimes even just a half a turn here and this in the same degree angle will make it so it snaps back. So don't get overly frustrated. Just take your time with this. Otherwise you're going to have a real crappy throttle, and that's no fun. Alright, last but not least, put on the small throw, small choke. Otherwise, there is no way it'll make it past the fuel petcock. So again, right here, as you can see, there is about a 1/4 inch. Sorry, there you go. Right there, there's about a 1/4 inch between that petcock. And you do not need to run this on prime, like some people do. I would not recommend that. Run it on and use your vent tube from this front fitting.